There's a slight irony here because what I'm going to talk to you about is weight. And yeah, you've probably guessed it. I'm not race fit and I am carrying a little bit of weight. What makes bikes really interesting in that the bike in itself weighs, let's say for argument's sake, 200 kilograms. So the rider is a massive part of what the overall bike weighs. And where we put weight on a motorcycle drastically affects how the bike changes and how the bike handles. And a quick way of improving lap times, a quick way of going faster is to reduce weight. And lots of people do that. You can fit the carbon wings, you can fit the carbon hugger, you can fit the carbon rear, you can put titanium, you can make the bike lighter. But if you really want to make the bike lighter feeling, we need to look at something called unsprung weight. Now, unsprung weight is essentially, very basically, rotational mass. So that means wheels and discs. If we can make the wheels and discs as light as possible, that will save on unsprung weight. It'll make the bike accelerate faster, stop easier, and it'll improve directional changes because we've got less rotational mass. And that's essentially what we've done here with the Panigale V4 S. So we've got these beautiful carbon rims that are 0.95 kilograms lighter than standard. The standard wheels are incredibly light, but these are nearly 1 kilogram lighter than the standard wheels. So that saves 12% of inertia on the front and 19% inertia on the rear, because obviously the back is wider and larger than the front. Because we're saving on rotational mass, because we're saving on unsprung weight, we're allowing the bike to steer more easily. Bikes, when you let go of them, want to go in a straight line. That's what they want to do. They don't want to go left, or they don't want to go right. So the more weight saving we can have, the less rotational mass, the less unsprung weight, the more we can make the bike steer. And that's what we've done with this experiment today. The V4S is easier and lighter and more nimble. And you really notice that in some of the really fast corners we have here in Italy. Some of the corners you're fully committed, fifth gear, big lean, back up, big lean, back up. There's lots of directional changes, second and third gear, and that less rotational mass makes the bike easier and flickable and more enjoyable to ride. And at the end of the day, that just makes it a little bit easier in the really blistering conditions we've had here today. So if you're thinking about, I want to make my bike faster, I want to make it easier, then necessarily we're not looking at improving the suspension. We're not necessarily looking at adding horsepower. One of the ways we can quickly make the bike easier to turn and easier to handle is saving on unsprung weight. Hope you've got the message, hope you've got the idea, hope you can now impress your mates with your knowledge when you're next down the pub. And to top it all, they kind of look really cool as well. But hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any more technical questions, you want to know exactly, specifically how manufacturers measure the unsprung weight, then fire us a few questions below. Thanks for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to ride around this stunning racetrack on this stunning bike. I'll see you on the next one.